The truth is, most people don't lose their money randomly, they lose it through habits that they've already built. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So in this video, I want to talk a little bit about the money habits that we seem to forget that we have, but play such a crucial part in all of our lives. And it's that realizing that it's more about just the money that you have in your bank account, but the habits that you have surrounding all your income and finances. Now, you might be thinking, I've already tried to save my money, I've already tried budgeting, but it just never really works. And maybe if you make more money, then everything will just suddenly fix itself, right? But if there's one thing that I can bet a lot of money on, it's that as soon as you realize or figure out the habits that are really holding you back, you'll have so much more control of your money despite the number of income that's actually coming in. So in this video, I want to share 7 money habits that are quietly holding people back and how you can overcome each and every single one of those. Okay, so number 1, the biggest financial mistake that most people make isn't overspending, but it's not paying attention. You can't fix what you don't measure. When you avoid looking at your bank account just because it stresses you out, that should be the first sign to tell yourself, okay, maybe I should look at this a little bit more and not less. Once I started tracking my money weekly, literally just like writing it down, I stopped worrying about where my money was going. You don't have to be perfect at budgeting, you just need awareness. Because money doesn't disappear, it leaks. And it only stops leaking when you start paying attention to it. Okay, and that brings us to number 2, the $3 question or the $30,000 question. It's easy to stress over tiny expenses like your early morning coffee or canceling your Netflix subscription, but miss the big opportunities that can actually move your financial situation that much closer to freedom. The 1% don't ask, how can I spend less money? Rather, they ask, how can I earn more money? Because those $5 cuts in your tiny little expenses isn't going to mean much when you're missing out the $5,000 opportunities that are standing right in front of you, right? Like improving your skills, negotiating a raise, or investing early, which, by the way, everyone should be doing if you're watching this video. Focus on questions that grow your income and not shrink your joy. Okay, and number 3, playing defense with your money. Most people live their entire life only playing defense with their money. So like cutting costs or investing very late or budgeting very tightly. And this, it's all good, right? But defense doesn't grow your money. It only protects what you have. So just as important as defense, you also need an offense to grow that money that you have. So building income streams, investing early, starting projects, or learning skills that are eventually going to pay you back. Saving is step 1. We know that. But growing is step 2. It's a 2-step process and you can't just stop at step 1. Okay, and number 4, following an invisible script. Most people follow a script that they've never even written, right? Study hard, go to university, get a degree, get a job related to that degree, buy a house, work until you're ready to retire. Now live off your retirement income. That's such a typical plan that we've all heard of, right? And maybe this plan isn't for you, or maybe this plan is a little too broad for your comfortability. Following this invisible script is going to keep you working for someone else's dream until you're ready to retire and live off just enough to get by, if you're lucky. The wealthy here question everything. Does this make sense for my goals? Or am I doing it just because everybody else is doing it? Or because someone told me to when I was 10 years younger? Freedom starts the moment you realize this and you start writing your own script. Okay, and number 5, having generic goals. Basic, I know, I get it, but let me give you my take. Saying things like, I want to save more or I want to invest more. Those are good goals. They're valid, but they're very vague. What even is the next step here? It's such a big jump from where you are right now that it's easier to just think about the goal rather than taking an action towards it. Because these vague goals don't really give your brain or your money anything to actually aim for. You're essentially throwing a Hail Mary or taking a shot from the moon. When your goals don't have numbers, timelines, or emotions, they fade just as fast as motivation does. Instead, make them measurable and meaningful. Don't just say, I want to save more. Say, I hope I invest at least $10,000 by the end of this year. Give your goals a purpose. Attach them to something meaningful, like getting out of debt, traveling, peace of mind, freedom. All of these things are so much better to aim for rather than just having a typical vague goal that you're most likely going to forget about the next day. Once I started writing my goals down in like a journal, everything changed. It stopped being a wish and it started being about when. Okay, number 6, spending without a plan. You don't go broke because you're bad with money. You go broke because your spending has no direction. Every dollar should have a job before it leaves your bank account. When I started labeling my money before the income even hit my account, like bills or investing or saving, having that identification really made me feel like I was in control of my money, which is a huge step forward. And it also made me open my eyes to all the unnecessary spending that I've been making that's been holding me back from financial freedom. Planned spending isn't just about control, it's about freedom. It lets you enjoy your money guilt-free because it's already accounted for. It's okay to still spend your money on things that you want. You could always have a fun category in your budget tracker. That's totally okay. I'm not saying all your money should be invested or saved. I'm saying you should have each dollar a job. So 10% for your fun, 30% for your investing, 10% for your saving, and the rest for your mandatory payments like bills and debt, etc. And that leads us into number 7, living with scarcity. Scarcity is when you look at your account and think, there's never gonna be enough. It's the mindset that keeps you chasing discounts, avoiding investments, and ultimately holding you back from opportunities that could actually help you grow. But here's the thing, the rich and wealthy people weren't born abundant, they learned it. Abundance doesn't mean spending recklessly. It means understanding and believing that your money is gonna come back to you because you know how to handle it and you know how to multiply it. I used to say, I can't afford that. But now I'm saying, how do I afford this responsibility? Although in hindsight, I'm essentially asking the same question, but the way that I'm asking really flips the brain from a fear perspective to a problem-solving perspective. The more that you focus on possibilities rather than limits, you're actually going to start working towards progress and not just holding yourself back subconsciously. Okay, here's the truth. None of these 7 habits individually are massive financial errors, but together, they're building a life where you're always worried, you're always stressed, and you're always waiting for things to get better, whatever that means. When you stop ignoring your money, and when you start setting real goals, and when you make that shift from fear to strategy, that's when things will actually start building for you. Money management isn't about being perfect. It's about being aware. And awareness, that moment when you start taking control, that is where freedom actually starts. If this video gave you even one new way to think about your money, hit that like button. It really helps other people find this kind of video. And drop a comment on what habit you're going to be working on next.